In this video, I'm going to share with you a method that helped me turn $1,000 into $3,000 in just one day. If you want to do exactly the same, then watch this video carefully and don't miss any details. Because here I'll share a detailed guide on how to double or even triple your deposit in just one day. And I'll also leave all the sources for all the information in the description. So this will be a practical video that I recommend every beginner watch in order to achieve the same results on the OTC market. Let's get started. I'm going to start my acceleration with 20%. That's quite a large amount, but nevertheless, I'll try starting with this sum. First, I need to choose a good currency pair on the OTC market, and it should have good movement. In other words, it shouldn't be stagnant, but actively moving. Euro Swiss franc basically suits us. Let's try starting with this currency pair. We select the Euro Swiss franc currency pair and set the trade time to 1 minute. And I get a very clear and good signal to buy. So right from this very point, I open my buy trade for 1 minute. Next, we'll talk about which signals you should skip and which ones you should focus on and open your trade. And most importantly, which currency pairs you should choose and which ones you should avoid. In reality, the OTC market is quite a risky thing, so you need to be careful with it. But that's exactly what we're going to talk about today. This market offers a huge opportunity, a lot of potential, especially when the regular markets are closed on weekends. And as we can see from the statistics, many people sometimes don't have the chance to trade on weekdays after work, so their only option is the weekend. Here, only the OTC market is available to us, so let's watch this trade. There was a rather risky movement at the end, but nevertheless it brought me $240. Excellent. For the next trade, I'll allow myself to go in with 25%. That's $390. Well, let's even round it up to $400 just to have a nice even number. And also just a reminder that right now you can get this trading robot by following the link in the description. So go ahead and activate this robot. It's available both on the OTC market and during regular hours on the standard financial market. If you have any questions, just write to our support account. The team there will help you out and answer all your questions. In short, I'll leave all the useful links in the description. And now let's continue growing our deposit. The next currency pair is Euro to US dollar. As we can see here, there's a strong upward movement, which is exactly what we need in this situation. So we can choose this currency pair and confidently open a trade on it. So I select the Euro US dollar currency pair, go to the booster bot and choose this pair. The trade duration is 1 minute. Next, let's talk about the trade percentages. Here I receive a buy signal. Right from here, I open a buy trade for $400. And let's discuss what exactly these percentages mean. First of all, we have the percentage for a successful trade entry. If it's less than 65%, we skip this trade. It should be above 65. That way, the signal will be reliable. The second percentage is the reversal percentage. What does this mean? The price has a certain probability, especially in the OTC market, that it can suddenly reverse and move in the opposite direction. So, this percentage should not exceed 40. If it's above 40 here, you skip this signal. And volatility now shows us how actively the market will move. This is more of a hint as to whether you should open a trade for 1 minute or for 3 minutes. So, in reality, there are only two parameters here that we need to pay attention to, and I really recommend skipping signals if you don't like them. You have no limits. With the booster bot, you can get 100 a day or even 1,000 if you want. Our capacity can handle that load, so if you're bothered by certain percentages, whether high or low, you can confidently skip that signal. Taking another profit, there's already $1,900 in the balance. And I'll open the next trade again with 25%. That's $485, a phenomenal result. But my risks are also quite high right now. By the way, if you want to learn more about the risks, then check out our Telegram channel. There we share this information in more detail about psychology and all the other nuances you should know. In short, the link is waiting for you in the description. The next currency pair now, surprisingly, the OTC market is performing very well and almost all currency pairs look really good. British pound, Japanese yen. Let's switch to the booster bot and ask where the price is going to move. I select this currency pair and the trade duration is also 1 minute. 1 minute works very well for OTC. I get an excellent buy signal from 70 to 77 and a small percentage for a reversal. And right from here I open a buy trade, and after this trade I'll show you how to set up the chart for yourself so you can make the best trades and use the best entry points. Right now, we are working in the standard way. Here too, we have pretty good statistics. If you're just starting to trade, then even with these so-called 15-second candles and 1 minute per trade without any analysis, you'll be able to close trades in profit in 75, even 80% of cases. But next, I'll show you a method that will allow you to close trades in profit in 85% of cases or more. So watch carefully and don't forget to subscribe to this channel and give this video a like. An excellent deal brings me almost 400 bucks. And let's go for the next deal. Don't stop. And again, we'll open at 25%. By the way, if I lose these funds now, I won't be risking anything anymore. I've already covered my deposit and I'm already well in profit. That's why I'll open the next deal for $585. And before we move on to the best entry points, let me show you an example of which currency pairs you should skip. By the way, right here is an example on a neighboring currency pair. Just to give you a clearer idea, we can see that the price is moving roughly like this. And accordingly, it's better to skip this kind of movement. We should have a very smooth, nice and good movement. That's when we can make money on it. In other words, if the price is just moving sideways from one boundary to another, then it's better not to trade here. That would be quite risky, and we only use such movements in the regular financial market. Of course, only when it is open. The Australian and Canadian dollar looks pretty good, but the payout here is small. But let's not dwell on this and try to get a signal. After all, it's better to have a reliable signal than a loss on an attractive payout. Here, the signal is pretty decent, but it's quite risky. That is, right now, I see that our percentage on a successful trade is between 65 and 70. That's low. And the probability of a reversal is also critical for us. Accordingly, I don't recommend opening such a trade. So let's get a new signal and choose another currency pair. Well, for example, the dollar, the Canadian dollar. Here though, the payout is even lower. But as I said, that shouldn't stop us. After all, we're aiming for positive statistics. Here it's a different story. There are good percentages for a successful entry and low percentages for a reversal. And as I wanted to say about the best entry points, we should use 5-second candles. I managed to switch the chart in time, and now I'll explain what that means. If we see at the moment that there's a lot of volatility and the price is moving very actively, then it's better to use 5-second candles. This also works in the regular financial market. But in the case of OTC, it's preferable to use only 5-second candles if we want to get a truly sniper-like entry. If you don't want to do in-depth analysis and don't want to bother with entry points, then use 15-second candles. Everything will work well that way too. It's just that in such cases, the price might close at -1 or -2 points. Well, let me just show you. Sometimes, for example, we want to open a trade right here, and at that moment the price suddenly drops down. As a result, we're already a few points in the negative, and there's no guarantee that the price will come back to that level. This won't happen with the 5-second candle, because we wait for a new 5-second candle to appear before opening a trade. By the way, my balance is already at 2,500, so let's open the next trade with even 30%. That's 776, but let's even open the next trade for $777 to bring the balance up to 3,000 bucks. Again, the currency pair is Euro and Swiss franc. There's still decent movement here. Now let's see it in action at the best entry point. It's quite a good signal with a good percentage, and right now a new 5-second candle is opening, and I open my trade to buy. As you can see, I waited for a small movement and basically already made myself a nice bonus. If I had opened the trade right away, I would have entered somewhere around this area, and accordingly, there's no guarantee that the price would have gone higher now. If you wait for a new 5-second candle, so for example, let's say I want to open a trade right away, and accordingly I enter here. If I wait for a new 5-second candle, here a new candle opens and makes this kind of impulse, and right away I enter here. The next candle often makes this kind of movement. This is called an engulfing pattern, and accordingly we enter on this engulfing, and this entire movement will be our solid profit. And let me remind you that you can get this bot right now via the link in the description and achieve the same results on the OTC market. As you can see, another $700 are being added to my balance. In total, I made over $2,000 in this video, literally in just one day with just a few trades. The most important thing is to practice with this bot if you want to make money on the OTC market. Really, practice is the most crucial aspect in trading. If you don't know where to get it, then join our Telegram channel where you'll find more detailed guides. If you have any questions, feel free to ask them through our support account. The team there will help you and answer all your questions. I'll leave the link to the bot in the description. Give us a like, subscribe, and see you soon.